He finished whether he won matches of the year. Sky nearly stole it despite interference from Morgan's Judgment Day allies, but Morgan retained, clean, with no outside assist, at exactly the 100-day mark of her reign. I am over 100 days as champion, and I want to make it 1,000. She'd said heading into the show. Solo Sikoa gets the reaction of the night. In an alliance Nobu had predicted a year ago, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and a returning ally took down the Bloodlines Usos and Jacob Fatu in a 6-man tag, with Knight scoring the pin thanks to a Sikoa assist. Sikoa's reaction from a Minneapolis crowd was massive enough that multiple outlets are already calling for tag titles to land on him and Knight. The loss leaves the Bloodlines' direction looking shakier than ever, and it's expected to draw a response from Roman Reigns. Nick Aldis holds his own. The SmackDown Gym lost his in-ring return to Gunther, but came out looking like a winner anyway. Not bad for a man who spent the last few years in a suit instead of trunks. The Bella Twins turn heel. During a 6-woman tag match, the Bellas turn on their partner Paige in a finish nobody expected, adding another layer of drama. Brie Bella was also seen favoring her shoulder late in the match. Triple H later confirmed at the post-show press conference that she'd been taken to the hospital for evaluation. Not everything landed. Several recaps flagged real dead spots outside the marquee angles, and the sheer number of commercial breaks took its share of criticism too. Why this weekend hit differently, WWE brought in a full roster names from earlier eras to work the SummerSlam circuit. Shawn Michaels, X-Pac, Jimmy Hart, Ricochet, The Undertaker, and the Dudley Boys were all doing fan events throughout the weekend. Mark Henry was spotted watching from his seat as the card unfolded. There was even speculation Grayson Waller might pop up given his current outsider storyline. None of these men needed a microphone to make their presence count. The Undertaker sitting somewhere in that building, while Lesnar borrowed his signature move. Jimmy Hart and Ricochet doing photo ops hours before Sikoa got the loudest pop of the night. Triple H, the company's chief content officer, stepping behind a podium not to celebrate a title change, but to explain a trip to the emergency room. That's the difference between a wrestling show and a wrestling event. One has matches. The other has witnesses who remember exactly what came before. Knight, too, still has business to settle. Reigns' response to the Bloodlines' loss, Punk's next challenger, and whatever comes next between Orton and Rhodes. But Knight, one already did its job. It got every legend in that building talking, arguing, and reacting right alongside the millions watching at home. SummerSlam just wrapped in Minneapolis, and it was the legends who ended up dominating the conversation. Brock Lesnar handed the spotlight to a 23-year-old. Randy Orton walked out crowd for the first time in months and flipped a championship match on its head. And backstage, The Undertaker, Ricochet, the Dudley Boys, and Triple H all had front row seats to it. Now the wrestling world is picking apart every second, and reactions from the people who built this business are getting louder than the results themselves. Lesnar versus Oba Femi. Trilogy ends with a torch pass hell in a Cell closeout night one. Not with Cody Rhodes or CM Punk in the main event slot, but with Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi settling a trilogy that started at WrestleMania 42 and split even at Clash in Italy. Their rubber match went off the rails fast. Lesnar tore up the ring padding, hit a tombstone as a gnawed Undertaker, and unloaded choke slams, power slams in his fall from grace finisher. Femi kept kicking out, kept getting back up, and then caught Lesnar with a fall from grace of his own on the exposed wood to score the pin. What happened next was the real story. Lesnar didn't storm off or sulk to the back with Paul Heyman the way beaten legends usually do. He left with Heyman, then came back out, embraced Femi, raised his arm, and grabbed a mic. "Here's the future of WWE," he said. Think about that for a second. This is a man who's beaten legends across 3 decades, whose whole aura is built on looking down at everyone else in the ring, and he just publicly anointed a King of the Ring winner as a successor. Commentary picked up on it instantly, calling Femi the next big thing as he celebrated.